Welcome back, everybody, to Cup Check. Today, we're continuing on with the rankings. Almost done with the rankings. We got second base today, and it's getting late. Dossie Poo, a little sleepy, a little ready for some nap time. How we doing?
Yeah, a little tired, like a little I don't know if I'm jet lagged or not. Probably not. But yeah, just been flying. Just got back in from Florida. Just had a nice little trip to Florida. So yeah, back in the cup check lab though, and I'm ready to finish off these second base rankings. So Zach, who do you have at the number one spot?
Number one, I got Ozzy Albies, a guy that I think I've doubted for too many years, but he just hits home runs and gets stolen bases. So
Yeah, and Ozzy Albies also comes in at my number one, and he finally did it. He had a 30 home run season, which is a pretty big deal from a catcher or from a second baseman. Sorry, the tiredness is really coming out right now, but I'm just gonna power through for the fans. But yeah, I mean, Ozzy Albies finally put together that season, and he had 20 bags last year. So let's not sleep on the bags. Average could have been a little better. It was 260, but still really solid all around second baseman.
yeah, I agree. And my number two, I'm going with a guy that would have been number one if he was still in Toronto. I'm going with Marcus Semien. Um, One thing I love about Marcus Simmons is he plays every day. In both 19 and 21, he played 162 games. And last year, one of the best fantasy seasons we've seen from a second baseman ever. 45 home runs, 15 stolen bases, and over 100 runs and RBI.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't checked out our top 10 fantasy seasons of all time video, Marcus Simeon did not make that, but like maybe he should have been somewhat close to the top 10 because, dude, holy cow, 265, 45 bombs, 15 bags in the modern era. Like, that's ridiculous. He's basically half of Roger Hornsby's average, but everything else looks pretty similar. So we got to really give our respect to Marcus Simeon, which is why he's number two on my list as well. Zach, I think we're gonna have the same number three as well. Who do you have?
I got Whit Merrifield at number three.
We do not have the same number three.
All right, Whit Merrifield's the dude that's still stealing bags, even though he's getting up there in age. That's one of the main reasons I have him here. But he's just a guy that produces every single year, hits for a high average, and you kind of know what you're going to get from him. Hits a few home runs, not as many as you would like to see, but yeah, a lot of stolen bases.
Yeah, and I had Whit Merrifield on my team last year. My running joke with Zach was like he's fantasy aware. Like he just knows when your team needs that stolen base and he gets it. I don't have any stat to like help me prove this, but I'm pretty sure that he leads the league in stolen bases on a Sunday because I cannot tell you how many times I was like tied and Whit Merrifield just clutched up with that bag on Sunday to like secure the dub. I was really confident that you were going to have Jose Altuve, your number three spot, which is who I have at my number three. Just talk about old reliable, 280, 31 bombs. So kind of switched up his player profile as a guy who did really high average and stole a lot to now just a pretty solid slugger who's going to be giving you solid average and some good power.
Yeah, I had Altuve at four, and honestly, I can't believe I did. Like, I feel like 90% of the time I would have put him at three. But
Yeah, I'm gonna
something
be
about
honest. If I put Altuve and Whit Merrifield in front of you, there's no way you're choosing Whit. Like you're a guy who's
nah,
keeping.
I'm absolutely taking Altuve. So I think I just need to like plop him up there and
Is
just
that official? Are you switching the two right now, or
official. It's official. Because
okay?
if you put those two in front of me, I'm taking Altuve every time.
Yeah, and he's
He's
just
just a
like
better hitter than Whit Merrifield, and yeah, he's not going to get you the stolen bases, but maybe you can find those stolen bases elsewhere. Yeah, give me Altuve at three, Whit Merrifield at four. Altuve is a guy that, through his age, has figured out how to hit with more power. So
yeah. I mean, fair enough. Shout out Zach for first ever live show switcheroo. Coming at my number four spot, I have Brennan Lau. I was in utter disbelief when I saw how many home runs this guy had. And I don't know how I didn't realize that he was doing this sooner. The Tampa Bay Rays second baseman hit 247 with 39 bombs last year. Like that's just like ridiculous. He also stole 7 bags, so like it's a pretty solid season. And a guy you're not really gonna have to draft very high to get those bombs at a scarce position.
All right, my number five, a guy that you had on your 2022 bust candidates is Jonathan India. Um, this is one I'm just taking the young talent with home run and stolen base potential. He's a guy that like potentially could hit 30-30. Even though that's definitely not likely, it's definitely possible, especially in the Reds ballpark, for him to get there one day. So I would take the potential on Jonathan India.
Nice. And coming in at my number 5, I finally have another old reliable with Merrifield, who Zach touched on earlier. So I'm not going to get too much into him, but look for like a little bit minor regression from last year, but minor regression might still be 30 stolen bases or more. So gotta love Whit Merrifield, and hopefully the Kansas City Royals lineup is going to be kind of rejuvenated this year with superstar to be Bobby Witt Jr. coming in. So Zach, who do you have at your 5? Who do you want to see?
Five was India. Six is Brandon Lau. Yeah, the home runs really surprised me too. I don't expect him to repeat that because I don't know. He's Brandon Lau, but he does have a really nice swing from the lefty side of the plate. And
Pretty small
yeah.
ballpark too,
Hmm?
from what I remember. Tampa.
What?
It's a pretty small ballpark for him,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it just seemed
Um,
like an easy place to hit a bomb out of. I don't know.
yeah, no, that's true. So Brandon Lau with the home run potential at six.
Coming at my 6, I have Jazz Chisholm, uh, who I kind of thought was a shortstop, but that just like tells me that I need to watch more baseball and watch more Marlins baseball, maybe because he is indeed a second baseman. And last year, he kind of showed some glimpses of greatness. Josh Chisholm did steal 20 bags and just about hit 20 bombs in his rookie year. So, if you can get that average up and continue to steal bases, we might have like another little Albies Jr. on our hand.
It's true. That's a good comp. My number seven's DJ LeMahieu. A guy that used to be like way up there in second base rankings. Um, Maybe the juiced ball in 19 helped him hit so many home runs, but you gotta expect that average to come up from what it was last year. I expect it to even out, and he's getting up there in age a little bit, but really, there's no way he does as bad as he did last year.
Yeah, I mean DJ's always been such a good hitter, and last year was just a really like big fall off. So he's got nowhere to go but up. I feel like right now. But coming at my 7, I have Ketel Marte, who's a guy that I don't have to take a chance on really because I know that he's going to put up solid average, and it'll be interesting to see if he can ever put up like another. I think it was 2019 was that year he really went crazy. If he could ever like put up a season like that again, yeah, that deserves its own video. How Ketel Marte just like randomly hit like 30 bombs and 320 or whatever it was that year. But yeah, Ketel Marte has shown flashes of greatness before, and you're not going to have to draft him too high to get a solid second baseman.
Yeah, now at number eight, I do have Jazz Chisholm. Um, Really, it's the stolen base home run potential that I was talking about with Jonathan India, and I don't see him as quite as good of a hitter yet. So that's why I have him a little bit lower. But yeah, who you got at nine?
I'm on 8, and yeah, I can see exactly what you're saying between the Jazz India thing. I have India at my 8 spot. Honestly, it's a flip of a coin. Both pitchers are going to have, or both hitters are going to have a little bit of a rough time now that the pitchers have kind of like seen them for a year, and they're going to be able to adjust their weaknesses. But the great players overcome that, and I think both of them might be able to do that. So coming in my 9 spot, I have Polanco, who is another guy. I was just in utter disbelief when I saw the stats. And just felt like it would be criminal to not include him in my top 10.
Yeah, I had Polanco at 9 too. I remember dropping him last year because he had such a bad first half, and then he ended up popping off in the second half. So maybe he's just a second half guy, but he puts up good numbers at the end of most seasons. So who you got at
Yeah, I mean,
your last spot?
270, 33 bombs, 11 bags. Like that
Yeah,
is probably a lot better than a 9 spot, but I don't really associate those numbers with Polanco until he's done it. And unless he does it again this year, then I'll start really giving Polanco that respect. Um, at my 10 spot, I have a guy who I really like, and I hope he continues to get playing time. Ty France out of the Mariners system. Who do you have at number 10?
I got Ty France.
Let's go.
Yeah, a guy with big, good hit tool power potential and put up ridiculous numbers in the minors. So,
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the minor league numbers. Let me see if I can
while
find
he's
them.
looking for that, I do want to say Javi Baez, we're considering a shortstop in Detroit with
Yeah,
Jonathan Gope at
definitely.
second. So,
Yeah, so in 2019 in the minors, are you guys ready for this, Cup Check audience? Like this is gonna blow your socks off. He hit 399 with 27 bombs. Like that is just ridiculous. That the Mariners like kept him down. Like he was clearly ready. And I think he showed that by coming up and hitting 290. So Ty France just an all-around hitter. And it'll be interesting to see how he continues to develop in the league.
yeah. Yeah,
So
second base kind of interesting. A lot of different ways you can go. And it's not one of those positions where you have to have one of the top guys.
yeah,
Um,
this
like
was definitely
third base, you kind of have to have one of the top five guys. Really, second base is just Ozzy Albies and Marcus Simeon are the two standouts. But you can find a lot of diamonds in the rough.
yeah, which is why this video was a lot more fun to make. Just a lot of diversity, like Zach was saying. But that's gonna do it for our second base rankings. Thank you all for watching, and I'm gonna go get some sleep. Signing off.